Let me tell you about the most brutal piece of financial advice ever given. It came from a man named Charlie Munger. Charlie Munger was Warren Buffett's best friend and business partner for over 60 years. Together, they built Berkshire Hathaway into one of the most valuable companies in the world. Charlie Munger was not known for being gentle, he was known for being honest, sometimes painfully honest. In the 1990s, someone asked Charlie for advice on building wealth. Here's what he said: "The first $100,000 is a bitch, but you have got to do it." He did not say it was difficult. He did not say it was challenging. He used a word that most financial advisors would never use. He said it was brutal, and he was right. Then Charlie said something even more important. "I do not care what you have to do, if it means walking everywhere and not eating anything that was not purchased with a coupon. Find a way to get your hands on $100,000. And then the key part, after that, you can ease off the gas a little. Ease off the gas." Why would one of the richest men in history say you can relax after just $100,000? Because Charlie Munger understood something that most people never learn. The rules of money change completely once you cross that line. Before $100,000, you are the engine. Your hard work, your savings, your sacrifice. That is what grows your wealth. After $100,000, your money becomes the engine. It starts working harder than you do. My name is Emma, and today I am going to show you exactly why the first 100,000 is so incredibly hard. I am going to show you the math that makes it feel like you are pushing a boulder up a mountain. But more importantly, I am going to show you why the next $900,000 to reach 1 million is actually easier than that first chunk. If you are currently sitting at $10,000, or $20,000, or maybe even negative net worth, this video is for you. Subscribe and hit the like button. Let us decode why the start is so brutal and how to get through it. Let me introduce you to a man named Wesley. Wesley is 26 years old. He works as a marketing coordinator. He earns $52,000 per year. Wesley has been investing for 3 years. Every month, he puts $500 into an index fund. That is $6,000 per year. Wesley just checked his investment account. After 3 years of consistent investing, his balance is $19,800. Wesley felt disappointed. He had contributed $18,000 of his own money over 3 years, but his account only showed $1,800 of growth. 3 years of discipline, 3 years of saying no to things he wanted, 3 years of watching his friends buy nice things while he saved, and the market had only added $1,800. Wesley could have earned that money by working 1 extra month. 3 years of investing felt like a waste. Wesley thought about quitting. He thought maybe investing was not worth it. Maybe he should just spend his money and enjoy life now. Wesley was about to make the biggest mistake of his financial life, because Wesley did not understand the math of small portfolios. Let me show you what Wesley could not see. When your portfolio is small, your contributions dominate everything. The market returns are technically working, but they are invisible. Let us use simple numbers. Wesley has $20,000 invested. If the market returns 10% this year, that is $2,000 of growth. $2,000 is nice. But Wesley can save that same amount by cutting expenses for 4 months. At this stage, Wesley's effort matters more than the market's effort. But here is what changes everything. Let us fast forward. Wesley keeps investing. He does not quit. After 10 years, Wesley has contributed $60,000 of his own money, but his account balance is $87,000. $27,000 came from growth. Almost a third of his wealth was created by the market, not by Wesley. After 15 years, Wesley has contributed $90,000. His account balance is $152,000. $62,000 came from growth. Now the market has contributed more than 40% of Wesley's wealth. After 20 years, Wesley has contributed $120,000. His account balance is $263,000. $143,000 came from growth. Now the market has contributed more than half of Wesley's total wealth. The market is finally working harder than Wesley, but Wesley almost quit after 3 years because he could not see this future. This is the trap that catches most people. Let me explain what happens at $100,000. Morgan Housel wrote about this in his book, The Psychology of Money. He explained that compound interest is mathematically powerful, but psychologically difficult. The early years feel pointless. The later years feel like magic. Here is the math that changes everything. When you have $10,000 invested, a 7% return gives you $700 in 1 year. $700. That is nice, but it will not change your life. When you have $50,000 invested, a 7% return gives you $3,500 in 1 year. Better, but still not life-changing. When you have $100,000 invested, a 7% return gives you $7,000 in 1 year. $7,000. Now pay attention to this number. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, the median American saves about $6,000 to $8,000 per year. This means at $100,000, your money is generating as much wealth as you are. You have effectively hired a second worker. This worker shows up every day. They never complain. They never take vacation. They never ask for a raise. And they add $7,000 to your pile every year without you doing anything. Charlie Munger called this the snowball effect. He described building wealth like rolling a snowball down a long hill. At the top of the hill, you have to push really hard. The snowball is small, it does not want to move. That is the first $100,000. But once the snowball has mass, gravity takes over. You stop pushing and start steering. Warren Buffett used the same analogy in multiple interviews. He said his job was to find a very long hill and a very wet snow. The wet snow sticks to itself and grows. The long hill gives it time to build. The wet snow is good investments. The long hill is time. But you cannot benefit from either until you have enough snow to start rolling. $100,000 is when you have enough snow. Let me show you something that will change how you think about wealth building. A financial blog called 4-Pillar Freedom ran a detailed analysis of how long it takes to add each $100,000 to your net worth. They assumed someone investing consistently at a 7% annual return. Here is what they found. Going from $0 to $100,000 takes approximately 7.8 years. Going from $100,000 to $200,000 takes approximately 4.9 years. Going from $200,000 to $300,000 takes approximately 3.5 years. Going from $300,000 to $400,000 takes approximately 2.8 years. Going from $400,000 to $500,000 takes approximately 2.3 years. Do you see the pattern? Each $100,000 arrives faster than the one before. The first chunk takes almost 8 years. By the time you are adding your fifth $100,000, it only takes about 2 years. And this assumes you never increase your monthly contribution. The same $500 per month the entire time. The acceleration comes purely from compound interest gaining momentum. Let me tell you about a woman named Brianna. Brianna started investing at age 25. She put $600 per month into index funds, about $7,200 per year. Brianna hit her first $100,000 at age 32. 7 years of grinding. Those 7 years were hard. Brianna watched her friends buy new cars. She saw people taking expensive vacations. She felt like she was sacrificing while getting almost nothing in return. But Brianna did not quit. At age 36, Brianna hit $200,000. Only 4 years after hitting $100,000, at age 39, Brianna hit $300,000. Only 3 years later, at age 41, Brianna hit $400,000. Only 2 years later, at age 50, Brianna had over $1 million. The first $100,000 took 7 years. The last $400,000 took about the same amount of time. Brianna did not work harder in her 40s than in her 20s. She did not earn dramatically more money. She did not find better investments. She just let the snowball roll. J.L. Collins explains this beautifully in The Simple Path to Wealth. He writes that the math of compound interest is simple. The hard part is staying patient long enough for the math to work. Most people quit during the first phase because it feels unfair. They do not realize that unfair first phase is what creates the easy later phases. The math of the first 100,000 is hard, but the psychology is even harder. Let me tell you about a man named Trevor. Trevor is 29 years old. He has been investing for 4 years. He has about $35,000 in his account. Trevor recently did some math that made him angry. Over 4 years, Trevor had contributed $30,000 of his own money. The market had only added $5,000. Trevor thought about what he could have done with that $30,000 instead. He could have bought a much nicer car. He could have taken several amazing vacations. He could have upgraded his apartment. He could have bought better clothes, better technology, better everything. Instead, Trevor drove an old car, lived in a modest apartment, and wore the same clothes from college, all to accumulate $35,000 that barely grew. Trevor looked at his account and thought, what is the point? This is the psychological trap. When your portfolio is small, the opportunity cost feels massive. Every dollar you invest is a dollar you cannot spend on improving your life right now, and the returns are not impressive enough to make the sacrifice feel worth it. Trevor was experiencing what behavioral economists call hyperbolic discounting. This is our natural tendency to prefer immediate rewards over larger future rewards. A dollar today feels more valuable than $2 in 10 years, even though the math says the opposite. Don Airlie wrote about this in Predictably Irrational. He explained that humans are terrible at making decisions involving time. We consistently undervalue our future selves. Trevor was about to abandon his future self for some short-term pleasure, but here's what Trevor did not understand. That $35,000 was not just money, it was a machine. A machine that would eventually print money for him forever. If Trevor kept going and hit $100,000, that machine would generate $7,000 per year automatically. If Trevor kept going and hit $500,000, that machine would generate $35,000 per year automatically. If Trevor kept going and hit $1 million, that machine would generate $70,000 per year automatically. $70,000 per year, without working. Forever. The car Trevor wanted to buy would be worth nothing in 10 years. The vacations would be memories. The clothes would be in a donation bin, but the machine Trevor was building would still be printing money. Trevor needed to understand that the first $100,000 is not about the returns. It is about building the machine. Let me tell you why the first phase is especially brutal for young people. When you are in your 20s and early 30s, you are fighting on two fronts. Front 1, your income is at its lowest. Most people earn the least money at the beginning of their careers. Entry-level salaries, limited experience, paying dues. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, median weekly earnings for workers ages 20 to 24 are about $720. For workers ages 45 to 54, median weekly earnings are about $1,200. Young people earn roughly 40% less than middle-aged workers. This means every dollar you save hurts more. That $500 per month represents a larger percentage of your income. Front 2, your expenses are often highest relative to income. Young people often face student loan payments averaging $300 to $500 per month. High rent relative to income, especially in cities with good job opportunities. Building a household from scratch, furniture, kitchen supplies, professional wardrobe, social pressure to spend on experiences, travel, and keeping up with peers. The combination of low income and high expenses creates a brutal savings environment. Let me tell you about a woman named Vanessa. Vanessa is 27 years old. She earns $48,000 per year as a junior accountant. After taxes, she brings home about $3,200 per month. Here are Vanessa's monthly expenses. Rent and utilities. $1,300 student loan payment. $350 car payment and insurance. $400 food and groceries. $400 phone and subscriptions. $100 everything else. $300 total. $2,850. Vanessa has $350 left over each month. If Vanessa invests all of that, she is saving about $4,200 per year. At a 7% return, it will take Vanessa almost 17 years to reach $100,000. 17 years. Vanessa will be 44 years old. This is the brutal reality for many young people. The math is simply hard when income is low. But here is what Vanessa can do. She can focus on the variables she controls. She can increase her income through promotions, job changes, or side work. She can decrease expenses by getting a roommate, refinancing loans, or cutting unnecessary spending. She can accelerate by putting every windfall, tax refunds, bonuses, gifts directly into investments. Vanessa cannot control the stock market, but she can control how much snow she'll pack onto the snowball. Let me give you the specific playbook for reaching $100,000. This is not about finding the perfect investment or timing the market. Those things do not matter much at this stage. This is about brute force. Shoving money into the machine as fast as possible. Step 1. Accept that this phase is safe. For Pillar Freedom ran the numbers on this. They found that in the first 7 years of investing, whether you earn 5% or 10% annual returns, the difference in your final balance is small. What matters is how much cash you put in. The difference between reaching $100,000 in 7 years versus 10 years is almost entirely determined by your savings rate, not your investment returns. This means you can stop stressing about finding the perfect ETF, picking individual stocks, timing when to buy, worrying about short-term market movements. Your job right now is simple. Put money in, every month, no matter what. Ramit Sethi calls this automating your finances in. I will teach you to be rich. Set up automatic transfers so the money leaves your account before you can spend it. Step 2. Embrace temporary extremism. Remember Munger's advice about walking everywhere and using coupons. He was not saying you should live miserably forever. He was saying you should be temporarily extreme. The first 100,000 is a sprint, not a marathon. People who hit 100,000 fast do 3 things. They aggressively increase income, job hopping, side hustles, overtime, promotions. Every dollar more earned is a dollar that can go to the machine. They resist lifestyle inflation. When they get a raise, they do not upgrade their apartment or car. They keep living at the same level and invest the difference. They capture every windfall, tax refunds, work bonuses, birthday money, inheritance. None of it is fun money. All of it goes to the machine. Let me tell you about a man named Russell. Russell decided he wanted to hit 100,000 by age 30. He was 24 with about $8,000 saved. Russell made a plan. He stayed in his cheap apartment with roommates even when he got promoted. He drove his beat-up car for 3 more years instead of upgrading. He picked up freelance work on weekends, earning an extra $10,000 per year. He put his entire tax refund and work bonus into investments every year. Russell's savings rate hit 40% of his income. Brutal, but temporary. Russell hit $100,000 at age 29, 1 year ahead of schedule. Then Russell eased off the gas. Exactly like Munger said. He moved to a nicer apartment. He bought a better car, he traveled more, but now his machine was built. His $100,000 was generating $7,000 per year automatically. Russell's sacrifice lasted 5 years. His reward will last the rest of his life. Step 3. Track your progress visually. The psychology of the first phase is brutal because progress feels invisible. Combat this by making progress visible. Create a chart showing your path to 100,000. Update it monthly. Celebrate milestones. 10,000, 25,000, 50,000. Thomas Stanley, who studied millionaires for the Millionaire Next Door, found that wealthy people tend to track their net worth regularly. The act of tracking creates accountability and motivation. Seeing the line go up, even slowly, reminds you that the math is working. I know what some of you are thinking. Charlie Munger said this 30 years ago. $100,000 is not what it used to be. Inflation has made this advice outdated. You are partially right, but mostly wrong. Yes, the specific number has changed. Adjusted for inflation, Munger's $100,000 is probably closer to $200,000 or $250,000 today. But the principle is timeless. The physics have not changed. Whether your target is $50,000, $100,000, or $200,000, the shape of the curve is identical. The first meaningful chunk of capital is always the hardest because it relies entirely on you. Pick your own target based on your situation. Maybe for you, the snowball starts rolling at $75,000. Maybe in an expensive city, you need $150,000 before you feel the shift. The point is not the specific digit. The point is reaching the velocity where your money works harder than you do. Do not let inflation be an excuse not to start. If the finish line moved further away, that is more reason to start running today. Every day you delay is a day your snowball could have been growing. Let me give you a mental model to carry with you. Think of your wealth journey in 3 distinct phases. Phase 1, the muscle phase 0 to 100,000. What is happening? Your contributions dominate. Returns barely matter. Progress feels painfully slow. Your job? Build the muscles of budgeting, saying no to consumerism, and increasing your income. This is about discipline, not strategy. Your mindset. This feels unfairly hard. That is normal. You are building the foundation of a skyscraper. Of course you cannot see it above ground yet. Phase 2, the snowball, phase 100,000 to 500,000. What is happening? Compound interest becomes visible. Your money starts contributing meaningfully to your growth. Progress accelerates. Your job, stay invested. Do not break the machine you built. Do not panic during market downturns. Do not get clever and try to time the market. Your mindset, the hard work is paying off. Keep the system running. Phase 3, the acceleration, phase 500,000 and up. What is happening? Your portfolio moves by tens of thousands of dollars on random days. Your money is definitively working harder than you. Your job, rebalance your life versus your money. You have earned the right to enjoy more, work less, or pursue meaning over income. Your mindset, you built the machine. Now let it run. Let me end with a story about 2 friends named Keith and Lawrence. They met in college, they graduated together. They both got jobs earning similar salaries. At age 25, they each had about $5,000 saved. Keith started investing immediately. He put $400 per month into index funds. He lived below his means. He tracked his net worth monthly. Lawrence decided to wait. He wanted to enjoy his 20s. He would start investing later when he earned more money. At age 32, Keith hit $100,000. 7 years of discipline. Lawrence had about $12,000 saved. He had been meaning to start investing but kept putting it off. At age 35, Keith hit $200,000. Lawrence finally started investing, putting $500 per month into index funds. He had about $20,000 saved at this point. At age 40, Keith hit $350,000. His money was generating about $25,000 per year in returns. Lawrence had about $95,000. He was still pushing hard, waiting for the snowball to start rolling. At age 50, Keith hit $800,000. He reduced his hours at work. He took a lower stress job. He spent more time with his family. His money was generating over $50,000 per year. Lawrence finally hit $100,000 at age 42. He reached $200,000 at age 47. At age 50, he had about $280,000. Keith, $800,000 at 50. Lawrence, $280,000 at 50. Same starting point. Similar incomes. The only difference was that Keith started 7 years earlier. Those 7 years, ages 25 to 32, created a $500,000 difference by age 50. This is the cost of waiting. This is why Munger said to find a way to get your hands on that first $100,000 as quickly as possible. The earlier you start pushing the boulder, the longer gravity has to take over. Let me leave you with this thought. The first $100,000 is not about the money. It is about building a machine. A machine that will eventually work harder than you do. A machine that will generate income while you sleep. A machine that will give you options you cannot imagine right now. That machine takes years to build. The construction phase is brutal. It feels unfair. You watch other people enjoy their money while you are building something invisible. But once that machine is running, it runs forever. Your first $100,000 is the hardest money you will ever accumulate. Every dollar after that gets easier because the machine is helping you. Charlie Munger was not being dramatic when he called it a brutal process. He was being honest, but he was also giving you hope, because after that first $100,000, you get to ease off the gas. You get to watch your money make money. You get to benefit from decades of compound growth. You get to become the person who built something that lasts. So wherever you are right now, keep going. $10,000. Keep going. $20,000. Keep going. Negative net worth. Start climbing. Keep going. Every dollar you invest today is a brick in the foundation of your freedom. The math is brutal at the start. That is true. But the math is magical at the end. And you cannot get to the magic without pushing through the brutality. Charlie Munger was right. The first 100,000 is a brutal process, but it is the most important brutal process you will ever complete. Start pushing. Build the machine. Let the snowball roll. Your future self will thank you. Thank you for watching. If this video helped you understand why the first 100,000 is so hard but so worth it, hit that like button and subscribe. Tell me in the comments, where are you on this journey? Are you in the muscle phase, the snowball phase, or acceleration? I will see you in the next one.